Now, everything old is new again. America's entertainment pop culture talk show with Douglas Viviani and David Cohen.
Humor in America came of age in the 20th century. From vaudeville and burlesque to radio, the movies, and television, there's more laughter and more to laugh at than ever before.
Well, Charlie McCarthy, the Woodpecker's pinup boy.
Welcome to Everything Old is New Again, 2044. This is Douglas Viviani. I'm carrying forward the Everything Old is New Again brand by myself. I've had, as you know, the last 10 years. I'm trying to get David Cohen back on the show. We've been approached 30 years later for a 30-year anniversary of Everything Old is New Again. NBC wants to put us on the air, much like the old Sunshine Boys movie in 1975, trying to reunite David Cohen and myself for a television special. 10 years ago, as you know, he retired from the show just when we were on top. And, of course, I'm upset, but I'm willing to give it a shot. Welcome him back here into the studio and try to rekindle the fire. David Cohen, you're back after 10 years. How's it feel?
Feels okay.
I mean, you're in your 80s now. I know that. You could try to show a little smidge of energy. Did you take your vitamin B this morning? What's up?
Yeah, I took all my vitamins, I'm about as excited about this show as I've ever been. What do you want?
All right, well, that goes to show you. I'll tell you, back in the day, I used to give you a lot of adjectives every show. I'd go ahead and give you a nice little accolade. I don't know if it ever sunk in or not that I appreciated all the work you did on the show. But let's go back and do a little bit of a clip here and let's refresh your memory as to all the adjectives, the feeling that Viviani had for Cohen back in the day. Welcome to Everything Old is New Again. This is Douglas Viviani with the rather horrifying, inquisitive, animated and...
animated.
David
Very
Cohen,
cute.
Yeah, the rather imaginative and novel, rather logical, intrepid, the young and rather ingenious, ever cinematic, dynamic and lively, sentient, festive,
with the ever mischievous,
excited, rather lively, creative, the franchise himself, the rather debonair, ever enchanted, elementary, determined, musical, architectural, the diminutive, colossal nature boy himself, literal or literary, the ever broad-minded, the ever probing, remarkable, game, competitive, impressionable, suffragette himself, the caricature, ever logical, out of this world, encouraging, comical, discriminating, the aficionado himself, the connoisseur, the wimpy himself, the successor to wimpy himself, otherworldly. See how we could go on and on with that. We got 20 years of those. That was just from the year 2016 alone. I just took the quotes there.
You never called me handsome.
Well, I always just tell the truth. I try to strive by the truth. What can I tell you? It's
Never heard handsome.
All right. Well, is that the problem?
Not
Is that
once.
why you had to leave 10 years ago?
Not once handsome.
All right. Do you have a handsome right now? Do you have a handsome?
All right. I guess better late than never.
Choking on my words here. All right, let's go back in time and just take a look at a little bit of fun we had. I'm trying to show you a little something about what we used to have. We had some fun. We did have some fun.
No, that was a question.
No, we did. We had some fun. Let's do this.
Bob, starring Steve McQueen and a cast of exciting young people.
How about that?
The first part sounded like Bradford, and the second part sounded like you. Starring Steve McQueen and some other people.
It was almost like they went to the studio and Bradford did his job. They took it really seriously, and they said, wait a minute, we forgot
Yeah, he went home. Right, wait, he went home. We got to get the guy
Get the guy back. Oh, he can't do it. He's doing some radio show. He can't do it this week. All right, get the other guy to come in here and add in Steve McQueen. And it's very important. We've got to say, there's a lot of exciting young people in this movie. Nameless, right? I mean, what was that about? Starring Steve McQueen and some nameless young youth. Wearing bikinis and and I showed that to my 7 and 4-year-old, and they still talk about the Blob to this day and are terrified of the Blob.
That
so
can be
memorable.
frightening to small children.
You know what I had to do? Angelica was really, my 7-year-old was really having trouble sleeping because of the Blob. Of course, I get into trouble for this. I was just trying to show a nice, goofy movie. I thought it was kind of goofy and fun, and it hit home. And she thought the Blob was going to come in through her door.
Right, under the door.
So I had to line up all of her Beanie Babies on the floor to defend against the Blob.
Did she feel better?
She did. She went right to sleep.
Oh, that's worked.
There you go. So we brought a little something to the table there. What do you think?
I'm not sure what the point of this is.
I'm trying to show you a little something how you actually had some nice feelings back in the day. You enjoyed being on the radio.
All right, well, what are we supposed to be doing? What does NBC want me to do?
They want you to get on the show and want you to come on and maybe do a routine or two with me, just like they did the Sunshine Boys. You ever see that movie in the 70s,
Sure,
76?
of course.
So we're going to come back and rekindle the fire. See if we can catch the fire. We talk about like Elio's Pizza, something like that. Remember
How about we just kindle
Elio's
the fire?
Pizza. I don't know if anybody even remembers that. It's just
I remember eating in college a lot. But at least your parents left you something. We got like a bag of potato chips or something.
nothing, not even peanut butter and jelly. Nothing.
No.
So what'd you do?
We just, scrounged around. Maybe there was some frozen dinners in there or something, but usually it would just be potato chips, and we'd sit in front of the TV.
That frozen pizza, we'd have a little
or Hawaiian punch.
Hawaiian punch, and we would tune in to Coal Shack the Night Stalker. Man, what a night. It was tremendous. Remember this?
Yeah.
So see that there, those laughs there? Is that what those laughs, were they real back in the day?
They were real. I was laughing at you.
Oh, not with me.
Not really.
That was the trick.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
You didn't think that was a
No,
fun
we had a few laughs, but when you booted me off the show 10 years ago, I
didn't boot you off.
I have a hard time with that.
We were at the top of our game, and you got into those contract negotiations. I had to invite Angelica to come on and just say, you know how she is. She
I took
over.
it as an insult. What can I tell you? You got more money. I held out for more money, and I didn't get more money. So I left.
Maybe I can get you some more money for this new show. What do you think about that? Something for your retirement. You're in your 80s. But
what is this accent you're talking with right now? Where did that come from?
It's an old man's accent. What can I tell you? Now that I got it, how do I get rid of it? Remember this routine back in high school? What do you think about this?
Let's hear it.
Then the guy says, yeah, now that I got it, how do I get rid of it?
I wanted someone that makes no sense. It's not funny listening to that. But Dave, what is that all about?
So it was a scene in The Odd Couple where they were at a party, and the camera just shot to Oscar Madison, and he said that. It was the end of a joke. You didn't hear the setup, you heard the punchline, everybody laughed. So when Doug and I would go to these high school parties with friends of ours, usually, I don't know about you, Doug, but it's like, we would talk, we'd have a good time, but a lot of times the conversation was just non-existent. And we had to figure out a way to get the attention on us, right? Because we saw the parties as an audience, and,
right.
Let's make them laugh. So we used to go and get maybe 2 or 3 other friends of ours, and in a really loud voice, we would say, so he says to the guy, now that I got it, how do I get rid of it? And everybody in the little group would just over the top laugh, right? Like just like it was the funniest thing they ever heard. And it never failed. What would happen after that?
The rest of the party would take a look over their shoulder and see what's going on over there, and it would draw them like flies. But you had to have a follow-up. I don't know if we always did.
Well, you would just be you, I would be me, and we'd get it started. But that was a way to draw everybody over with this stupid, totally fabricated, hey, we're having a good time. And we stole from The Odd Couple.
So there's pop culture coming into your life, affecting it for the positive. We kind of used it to
interact socially as these geeky high school kids.
There you go. So remember those days in high school? My God, how many years ago was that now?
Has to be, 70?
Oh, yeah.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Years, yeah.
They don't have high school anymore, right?
They do it at home. They infuse it in when the kids are asleep. They infuse it in their dreams. They get up and they get to relax all day long.
Kids are missing out on good times, though.
They are.
Really are.
We had a lot of fun back there. I'm just trying to remember what it was like to be on the air with David Cohen on Everything Old is New Again. We're celebrating here 30 years of our show. I know you're only on for 20 of those years, but there were 20 glorious years. And we're looking forward to seeing if you can get you back on, like AKA the Sunshine Boys, try to get you on the new NBC
Where were you
special.
10 years ago? I would have stayed.
Well, lack of communication, I think, is what went on there. That wasn't like when we were at the news. Remember we were the news? That song we did, the She Was a Jap song? I mean,
yeah.
That was tremendous. We'll go out on that, and what I'll do is say we'll come on back to Everything Old's New Again and take a look at the year 2016, see if we had some fun to get David Cohen back on the show. Look at this kid. Listen to that. Wow. That's a young David Cohen singing. Be back. Everything Old's New Again. All right, we're we're back here on Everything Old is New again for the umpteenth time here to see if we can get young David Cohen back on the show. You're not so young anymore.
No, neither one of us are. But you're as old as you think you are, right? Or you're as young as you think you are.
I think you're as old as you think you want to be, and then you're young as you think you could be. And
how old are you right now?
I'm in my mind. I'm 17 years old, but I tell you, when I wake up in the morning, it's got to be 117. Can't get out of that bed. Although I got to get out of that bed like 17 times in the middle of the night. I know you know that routine.
Yeah, I mean, you sleep for 3 hours, you're peeing for 5 hours. That's the way it goes.
That's what it's all about. But listen, at least you went ahead and got yourself a nice checkup. You do that checkup every year with the
prostate.
Yeah, you do that there.
Yeah, the blood pressure, the prostate, the heart, the ticker.
I know you had problems with after that New York City Marathon back in 2016. You ran that marathon. Then you were sick the week after. You were on the board, and you had to try to push through on the show. How do you feel?
Well, I thought I did a good job, even though I was sick that day. And
you sort of sounded like an old man when you were performing.
Ironically, yes, I did.
Now you are the old man.
Now I am.
All right, we'll be back. Everything Old is New again. Podcast here. What do you think? Let's get the volume back up here. Where's the volume? What did I do? There it is. All right.
Push the volume button up.
There we go. All right, we'll be back.
You're listening to Everything Old is New Again, America's entertainment pop culture talk show with Douglas Viviani and David Cohen.
Are making a movie about a vaudeville team who have been the funniest men in America for 43 years and have hated every minute of it.
You mean to tell me you haven't spoken to Al Lewis in 11 years?
I haven't seen him in 11 years. I haven't spoken to him in 12 years.
I don't hate him. Can't stand him, but I don't hate him.
If it was all that bad, why did you stick together for 43 years?
Al Lewis was the best. The best. You understand?
I understand.
Welcome back to Everything Old is New again, 2044. Boy, oh boy. It's been a long time. We've been on the air for 30 years. David Cohen's here with me. He was on
I haven't been on the air for 30 years. You've been on the air for 30 years.
And you left me. I don't know why you left me 10 years ago, but you left me.
Ah, that hurts.
Okay, so it's just very similar to the
Because
Sunshine
if you would have
Boys.
paid me, I would have stayed.
Everything with the money. What about the love? What about the love of the
Well, if
project?
they didn't pay you, would you have stayed?
No.
There you go.
All right, so let's continue with a little discussion here. We left off there. I just want to try to convince you to come on back for this special that they want to run for us.
Not only that, but you replaced me with your daughter.
Well, someone had to talk to me. I can't talk to myself. Wouldn't be my wife, that's for sure.
I just always felt that you wanted her more than me anyway. I mean, obviously she's your daughter.
Yeah, but she didn't have stories like this. Listen to this story. 2.5 minutes of glorious, glorious entertainment on Everything Old is New again from 2016 with the Meet the Host show. Listen to this. We had been written up in the local Good Times magazine.
Good Times
the ad
newspaper.
said, describing us, the line.
Oh,
I gave a review. It said, the live... what did it say? Wait.
Something.
Great originals... And the live show's a gas.
It's a gas.
Because in between songs,
was a gas.
We would talk like we do now in between songs and try to get people
But do you remember the corny thing we used to do as the show opened?
Yeah, describe that. That was
so
terrific.
we would sit
First
four
of all,
of
what
us.
we dress up as?
We had uniforms, right? And
black shirt,
white pants. Go figure. And then we would sit 4 or 5 of us in chairs in a row at the edge of the stage, holding up actual newspapers, right? Because we were the news.
Turning
get
the
it?
pages.
You get it, right? And then we'd have our
spotlight, if there was one, was on us,
right? And then we'd have some offstage voice saying, "Ladies and gentlemen, hear now the news."
No, it's 10:15. Hear now the news. Don't forget they used to do
even
the time.
cornier, right? And then what do? We just put the newspapers down and go.
That was the problem. The segue.
transition.
We had to put the papers down, move the chairs, and
making all this noise.
Go to our instruments, and then start up. And I remember there was one time I had these maracas, these things, not maracas, these things for the Doors use these, two pieces of wood that you click together and make a sound.
Claves.
Claves. And I remember I had them in my pocket. And so as I got up,
Was that what was in your pocket?
Yeah,
Claves,
I'm not
huh?
happy to see you. And the claves fell out, and you hear them click, 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 and rolling on the ground. And I needed them for the first song. I had to chase after them.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, that was
a
West
bit chaotic.
Hollywood.
But do you remember? Can I just say one other thing? When at junior high school, we would finish every song that we finished, right? And we did covers of popular songs of the day.
Yes.
And there was one junior high school, middle school we did. After every song, there would be this one girl. Do you remember what she said after every song? Billy Joel,
yeah.
Billy Joel, and we would just say, "I'm sorry, we don't know any Billy Joel. Really sorry." And then we'd play another song, dun 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 dun, Billy Joel, and we don't know any Billy Joel. I'm really sorry.
I'll reenact that. We're going to play now our. This is live now. Another song called "The Twilight Zone."
Okay.
Listen to the vibrancy in the boys back then. What do you think?
Yeah, we had a lot of energy back then. When you're in your teens, you have a lot of energy.
It's very hard to recreate those kind of feelings, that kind of situation. But I got to tell you, we took a lot of chances in high school, and we took a lot of chances for the 20 years we did Everything Old Is New Again together.
We did. I'll give you that. We really did.
Remember the time we did the Science Fiction Theater 3000?
Oh, yeah.
We did commentary on a show called our Invasion Show, show 119, if you go back and take a look.
Let me guess. You have a clip about
I got a clip. Listen to this nonsense. Holy smokes.
Hi, Mac. Sure, I'm all right.
Before texting, some guy's drunk dialing her right now.
Say, Mac, why are you calling me so late?
Tell Jeff I'm all right.
Oh, he's going into her house now.
Okay.
Uh-oh. She doesn't know
Thanks for calling.
All right. Thanks.
Good night.
What was the call about? What was that call for?
I have no idea.
I'm drunk dialing her.
Well, she really
Sorry for breaking up with you.
She really gets dressed up for bed. She's wearing a very, very head-to-toe negligee that's formal.
That face.
So he's
hungry.
It's another undead guy.
Yes, he looks very hungry. Looks like me in the morning when I haven't had the breakfast cereal. Look at that face. Only a mother can love that. It's like Angelic in the morning, lollygagging around. Could you come on? We got to get to school. Come on. He couldn't. If he was walking any slower, he'd be walking backwards. This guy. Listen to this.
This
guy's dream came true. He came upon a nice blonde in a negligee on the side of the road. Put her in his car, and he's taking off. I mean, that's every guy's dream at some point,
He's the scariest one out of the three Walking Dead people.
There you go. We had some fun. We had some laughs. I don't know if that translated to radio, if anybody really understood what was going on.
Yeah, because if I remember, we were watching it on the computer or something, and we were trying to tell the audience what was going on and being funny about it at the same time, right?
I think we were funny about it. I got to give you a lot of credit there, kid.
We were trying.
Like
you said, we were always trying.
We gave it our A game all the time, just like we did on that April Fool's show. Remember that? We switched parts.
Oh, yeah.
Listen to this 2016 April Fool's show. It was a lot of fun. Listen to this stuff.
Welcome to Everything Old is New Again. This is Douglas Viviani with the ever mischievous David Cohen.
I don't know how mischievous I am, but okay. Why am I mischievous?
Well, I'll tell you why. We had a meeting about this. Where were you? You didn't attend the meeting. I was sitting there by myself. This is our April Fool's show. April Fool's Day show.
You sit by yourself a lot.
Yeah, I do. We're going to take a look at certain audio clips or listen to them, but I like to say take a look, and a smidge about the subject matter. We're also going to spend the next, I would say, 3 shows on the history of April Fools. It'll be a 3-parter going back from the caveman days.
Oh, the history.
No, in all seriousness, Dave, we can expect... the shows that we expect to produce, and you're eating already and causing trouble.
Yeah, it's lunchtime. See, that was really what was the crux of it. All the time you'd come in with the eating. You're still doing that all day. All day long. You eat like a cow. You just keep on going.
I can't eat like I used to. But I'll tell you, that was like what they did in The Odd Couple, right? The role reversal.
It was. That was the genesis of the idea. Further, you had a nice idea. I got to give you credit for this. For the same show, the fake shows, we pretended that there were going to be new shows coming out. We were announcing them from press releases. Right. Listen to this. There's a fake show, but it came out pretty good. There you go.
Yeah, what's exciting, one of the most exciting reboots I've heard about is Happy Days. It's called Happier Days, right? Good title.
All right.
So Henry Winkler, Ron Howard are actually co-producing an updated version of Fonzie and the Gang.
Well, I could see Ron Howard doing it after that flop Moby Dick, which I thought was going to be a huge success.
I know.
Right? I thought that was going to be great, and what happened? So
he's going to go back to his roots.
Okay,
right?
Makes sense.
So they're getting together, and each one are actually going to make cameos as their iconic characters, but it's going to be in a present day setting, and it's going to focus on their grandkids as high school students in 2017, I guess.
Okay.
And ironically, this is sort of the twist on the whole show. Richie's grandson has become the image of his great uncle Fonzie. In other words, like a tough-talking, ultra-cool dude, with this heart of gold. While Fonzie's grandson embodies the fresh-faced innocence of great uncle Richie, which is kind of weird, right?
I like that.
And
it's funny. We got some calls about that. People were upset.
When they found out it was
real.
fake. When they found out it was fake.
I give you a lot of credit. You wrote that whole bit yourself there, kid.
Probably the only time anyone ever called into the show. They actually thought we were talking about something serious.
We're back on Everything Old is New again, the 2044 version. Right after these commercial breaks.
What's happening to your voice?
I'm an old man. What do you want to tell you?
Now, back to America's entertainment pop culture talk show. Everything old is new again, with Douglas Viviani and David Cohen.
ABC is doing a big television special next month. It's an hour-and-a-half variety show, having some of the biggest names in show business.
Why couldn't you get me on that show?
I got you on that show.
Alone?
No.
With Lewis?
Yes.
Then you ain't got me on the show.
Oh, the guy, I mean, he's an old man, I know, but holy smokes, he's chewing the food in his mouth. The food in his mouth on the big screen extravaganza. And this guy's got the food in his mouth. What do you think of this?
Well, you first of all, you're starting to sound like the barbecue guy. I don't know why that's happening, but anyway, you always had, that's another thing I never liked about it, Douglas, is that you always gave me crap when I was eating.
Well,
on the set.
You're on the radio. You're really not allowed to eat food on the radio because you listen to people chewing your face. Do you have a nice Thanksgiving dinner and you pull a chair up, sidle up next to your wife and put her like your ear next to her mouth and want to hear what she has to say while she's eating the food?
I'm not sure what you mean by that, but I can tell you that I needed to get my energy up and I had to eat. So I don't see what the big deal was, but...
there's another thing. I don't think you went for this one. We did a show. We tried to figure out who would we be if we were comic characters. And I got Mike Wazowski from.
Right.
Remember this here from the Monster Inc.
All right, let's hear a little bit of Mike Wazowski, and this will be Mike Wazowski as if he was acting as David Cohen, if that makes any sense.
Hey, this thing on? Hello, testing. Hey, good evening. How are you? Nice to see you. I tell you, it's great to be here in your room. Where you from? Never mind. You're in kindergarten, right? Oh, I love kindergarten. Best 3 years of my life. But I love sports. Dodgeball was the best. Oh, yeah. I was the fastest one out there. Of course, I was the ball. But I was the ball. See? All right.
Back to your old days when you did stand-up, it looks like.
Yeah, I guess I am more like Mike. Sadly.
That's really sounded like you circa 1993 at the Gotham Comedy Club.
Yeah, especially, is this on?
So you had to stiff up a lip there, but really, that's was the beginning of the end, I think, at that point.
For me?
Yeah, I mean, you started to get a little upset with me because I played a clip like that.
Well, yeah, I mean, I didn't appreciate the comparison as accurate as it was. The fact that you did that was a bit insulting, to be honest with you.
All right. What was more insulting was us trying to actually imitate Abbott Costello.
Oh, what a disaster that was.
I'm putting here the second tape. The first take when I was Costello. Oh, wait a minute. You were Costello. Long story short, I think the second tape was a little better.
We were both Costello. That was the best take.
Tough.
What is the first thing you buy in a baseball game?
A hot dog.
A hot dog.
Without mustard.
No. Mustard goes with a hot dog.
Not with mine.
Mustard was made for the hot dog.
Now, look, I don't like mustard.
Mustard and the hot dog go together.
Let them go together. I don't want to spoil any romance.
You know they spend millions of dollars a year just to manufacture mustard? Do you know those factories employ thousands and thousands of people just to manufacture mustard? And do you know know those people take care of thousands of families and homes, all on account of mustard. And you, just because you don't like mustard, what do you want them to do? Close all the factories down? Put all those people out of work?
You mean to tell me, to sit there and tell me, just because I don't eat mustard, I'm going to close down all the mustard factories?
Now, wait a minute. No.
Are you trying to tell me that those thousands of people are making one little jar of mustard just for me?
Now, wait a minute. You don't understand.
Well, if they are, you can tell them not to make it, because I'm not having it.
All right, so you don't like it.
I like Worcestershire.
You like what?
I like Worcestershire. There you go.
I think it was even better than the original.
After number 2, you really thought you started to get a little bit beside yourself here, thinking you were the next Abbott.
Yeah, I think it went to my head.
It did a little bit. But I think it's great to see you come back here in year 2044 to see the retrospective, to take a look at what we did, try to win you back, to see if you can come on board for the show again.
Do I get paid for this time I'm here today?
Of course you get paid. You get paid scale, though. Of course, that's what it's all about.
I'll take it.
How about the day in the life of myself as a cartoon? We would take a look at that. We saw you. Now we'll take a look and see how I do.
Ah, right, yeah.
A little bit of a day in the life. We've taped that. Listen to how it would sound.
Pay attention to me, boy. I'm not just talking to hear my head roar. Smart boy, got a mind like a steel trap, full of mice.
What am I doing? One frosty one coming up.
Oh, I love my husband. I'm not bad. I'm just drawn that way.
There you go. So that's such it was a well fleshed out thought there.
A day in the life of an animated Doug Viviani. I like it.
All right, so we gave it a shot. That was all right. That's okay.
Yeah, I think that was pretty representative of you as a person and in the cartoon way.
Listen, if you go back to the old podcast, they're there on everythingoldisnewagain.biz. That active, it's still active.
They're still, you can still get those shows.
You can get all those old shows and listen.
Do we
to
get royalties for those? Because I haven't seen a check.
Well, that's why I'm here. I want to talk to you about that as well. We've got a little continue with the contract negotiation. Been going on for 10 years. I think we could solve the whole problem and have you on back, not only for the retrospective on television like they want to do for us with the Sunshine Boys kind of a thing, but I can have you come on back to Everything Old is New again, full-time, with a nice number in your pocket.
Well, I don't want to say it's all about the money, but, you know.
Well, I'll tell you, you might be worth it. Sometimes you're worth it. You did a nice 1-minute mystery when we did the Sherlock Holmes show. Remember this one? This is pretty good.
I've been waiting to do this for a long time. All right, so here it is. Listen closely, people at home.
Did you write this, or, I mean, where did it come from?
Totally original.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Douglas and David are sitting in the studio. Douglas gets up and leaves the room. The person remaining in the room will always be Douglas. How is that possible?
I have no idea.
Okay, here it is. So Douglas and David are in the room. Douglas gets up and leaves, right?
Yeah.
The person remaining in the room is me. However, I am Douglas. I am without Doug.
Wow. I actually like that. So he gave you a little compliment there. I remember all these. This is 20 years later since that show. We've been on the air for 30 years, but 20 years since 2000. Well, maybe more than that. But anyway, 2016. And I got to tell you, you did a nice job.
Yeah, thank you. You actually, I remember you gave me some artistic license, and I appreciated that.
You made that up. That was pretty good. That was on our Sherlock Holmes show. We did a nice show about Sherlock Holmes. We also did a show about Big. We found that. Remember, we found that device.
The movie?
The movie. No, we did the big
big versus large versus small.
Exactly. We found that device where you got nice and small there. We talked about that.
Oh yeah.
And I got big. Remember?
Right.
They've since put that in the archives like they did with the, they came and took that machine like they did Raiders of the Lost Ark. It's in that big museum, or what would you say, the warehouse in Washington. But since the...
Smithsonian?
Yeah, I guess you could say that, yeah.
That's
Listen
pretty
to
cool.
the big pools.
I just wanted to see what an outlet looks like.
That's you.
Really?
Why don't you see if you can put your hand in there, see if you can climb in there, see what it's like.
I'm not stupid.
Your brain size is the size of a pea, but you're not stupid. You retained your brain sense.
I gotta say, this is pretty cool.
All right,
could you zap me back?
You gotta zap you back. Okay. This is horrible for you. It really is. Horrible for everyone listening. It's horrible. Really not ready for this. But all right.
You're pretty tall. What's it like out there?
I can barely see you.
Can you walk around, or will you be stepping on people?
I just stepped in the pool. The pool's open now. It wasn't open before. It's open now.
There you go. We had some fun back in the day. You got to remember.
That was fun. That was really fun.
Getting big and small. What I'm trying to say is that device was taken. Let me finish this thought.
Do you remember the scene in Raiders of the Lost Ark when they took the device and they put it into a big crate? The Ark of the Covenant, and the last scene of the movies, they put it into this big warehouse.
Yeah.
That's where the big and small devices to this day.
I see.
As labeled, everything old is new again, .biz.
So we were pretty big. I mean, no pun intended.
We were big, and we'll continue to get big as long as people tell their radio station that they like the show and they would like it to continue. What do you think of that story? Come on back. We're going to have you come on back to the show. We'll reach new heights in our 80s. I mean, we're in 2044. People are living to 120.
I don't know. You're talking to me or the audience? You're looking at me. You're talking to the audience. What's going on?
You sound like Fondue Guy. You're having a lot of trouble figuring out when to talk, when not to talk. We'll visit with those characters, I'm sure, next time we're on.
God, I hope not.
Come on back, and everything old is new again. We're talking about the Sunshine Boys and trying to get the original Sunshine Boys, Viviani and Cohen, back on the radio again. What do you think? Well, I didn't tell us to know if you like it or not. Everything old is new again. .biz. We'll be right back. Isn't that theme, huh? Nice. Now we'll fade that out a little bit here. All right, is this working? Is this microphone on? Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Anybody enjoying what we're doing here?
I can't vouch for that, but yeah, look, I'm having it's okay. It's a good time. It's a good time.
So you're coming back. You're coming on back to the proper thinking. You're getting a nice little feel for the show. You think maybe it's possible. You might want to come back.
Maybe.
All right. We'll see what happens because next time around we're going to continue lots of arguments that we had. What kind of arguments and different things we had going on the air. We'll visit with Fondue Guy and Barbecue Guy. Remember those guys?
Oh boy, yeah.
We're at 80s days.
Well, I think Fondue Guy met an untimely death, if I remember correctly, falling into a hot vat of hot chocolate. But I think he, third-degree burns. It was terrible. He was licking his wounds, literally, but died from the burns. Barbecue Guy, I don't know what happened.
The barbecue man is still going. He's still going strong. You'd think we'd have like this heart attack. The way he was 300 pounds.
I'm surprised he lived that long.
Cholesterol. He was eating.
He's still
crazy,
kicking, huh?
Eating meat every day like a loon, and he is as fit as a fiddle with the cigars he's smoking. He's drinking the beer. I don't know. He sounds like me sometimes a little bit there. When I think about him, I take on that accent.
There was a lot of him in you. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, all right, we'll be back. Everything Old is New again. Listen to the podcast. Everything Old is New again. .biz.
This is Everything Old is New Again, America's entertainment pop culture talk show with Douglas Viviani and David Cohen.
Next time you give me the finger, say goodbye to the finger.
I got a terrific idea. Instead of working together again, let's never work together again.
You're old-fashioned. I'm still new-fashioned. I'm still in demand. I'm still hot.
If this room was on fire, you wouldn't be hot.
It's amazing how similar those two guys are to us in some ways.
We're much more talented, though.
We are.
I think we are.
We are. We did a lot of routines, but we were created something brand new every single week.
We did.
They did routines over and over and over and over again, same routine.
Right.
We did brand new material every week on Everything Old is New Again. It's 2044, and I'm trying to win back David Cohen, who's been 10 years off the show here with a contract negotiation. He originally wanted a certain number. It's 10 years later. Inflation be darned. They're ready to give you that number.
You know what? It wasn't about the money. I lied. It wasn't about the money.
What was it about? The finger? The one time I gave you the finger? Or was it that Peanuts versus the Muppets argument that I won? How about that one?
With the two stars of the different franchises, Kermit versus Charlie Brown, on guard. Let's go. Here he is, Kermit the Frog.
Piggy, I'll tell you what I'm going to do, Piggy. I'm going to fire you. Piggy, you are fired.
What do you got to say about
I got the man. I got Charlie Brown.
Gee, I got a candy bar. Boy, I got 3 cookies. I got a rock.
All right.
He's got a rock.
Oh, you just got me in my arm. You hear that?
Yes, that was pretty gross.
Get the medic.
He's got a rock, and he's not a pig. He's not a frog in love with a pig.
Listen, Kermit is a real man.
How
did you hear him fire his girlfriend from the show?
Yeah, it's never been funny. Who cares about them?
Who cares about this? Charlie Brown walks around, is depressed, and he gets rocks, and he's depressed.
Okay, so fine. You turn lemons into lemonade. But let me ask you this: have you ever been in love with a pig?
Listen, the answer to that is yes, too.
All right, withdraw the
that's
question.
a whole nother show, and I got to make sure my wife doesn't listen to that one.
My wife, P.S., has never seen or listened to this show yet.
Still
30 years
after
later.
all these years.
She cashes the check, and that's it.
Wow.
She's not.
Are you still married?
I'm still married. Yes, I am. We have a wonderful time. That's what it is. You have to have a little something for yourself.
I see.
That's what it's all about. So the Peanuts versus the Muppets, that was some challenge.
It was. It was good.
I'll tell you, we enjoyed that. We also did a very short clip here. I want to talk about the video game. Remember we talked about video games?
Oh, sure.
And we had a nice video game challenge. We challenged each other on a Pac-Man.
Pac-Man, yeah.
Remember that? That was a lot of fun. Listen to this.
Listen to that sound. Beep, 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 beep. Yeah, get up to that one.
Doug, I'm kicking your butt, man.
You are. You're at 2,610 already. Wow, I got a lot of makeup to do here. You got a whole screen done. Woo! Wow, nicely done.
That was some commentary on the Pac-Man game we had going.
It was almost like you were there, whether you wanted to be or not.
So we took a couple of chances, but we had a lot of arguments. But the arguments were the arguments you love to have. Peanuts versus Muppets, who's better at the video game. And then we had these guys in. Do you remember these guys? The fondue guy and the barbecue.
Sure, we were just talking about them, yeah.
I mean, what was that about? I mean, that came out of nowhere.
It did. I thought for a time they were more popular than we were.
They did get a lot more fan mail, I'll tell you that much. Let's listen to a little something with Fondue Guy. He kind of talks about his dad. Remember this one? This is from 2016, a show about fondues. What we do is the summer blockbuster show. So show number 114 on the website. Everything else.
I remember 114. Yeah,
that's a big one. Let's see if
we need to sit down and relax.
Yeah.
Have a little bit of dessert. Let's trade a couple of recipes. Take a break.
I didn't realize that sugar works as a relaxant for you, but
it does. Sugar and a little caffeine. I have a little coffee in my meal too, just to relax. That's all I need. I need a little sugar, and a little coffee, and I can relax. I'm not as uptight as I am now. Don't talk as fast. You know what I'm saying? It slows me down. Get to the point. What do you got? You got a dessert? What kind of dessert?
I'm looking for verbal or visual cues for when to come in. But so far, it's been almost 2 shows, and it's been highly unsuccessful.
I don't do all that nonsense. I just say talk. Go. Do.
Raspberry ice.
Nice.
I believe you'd like this one.
Let's see what you...
In a small saucepan.
Don't cry. You sound like you're crying there. Come on. It's going to stiff up a lip, my buddy. Come on.
In a small saucepan, you combine 1 cup of water. I just feel like...
You're all choked up. This is some recipe. What, your mother used to make this for you?
No, I
memories?
I just feel there's emotions coming up in me that I believe stem from... possibly my childhood. I was, really berated by my parents growing up and not allowed to speak very often. And I just think that's, really coming.
Come on, get to the point. Come on, raspberry ice. Come on.
Okay.
Your father reminds me that he sounded like a pretty decent guy. I probably would have got along with him pretty good at these barbecues. Did he have barbecues himself?
He did.
His father yours?
Yes, he did.
He enjoyed the barbecue. His buddies over a couple of beers?
Yes.
They throw that horseshoe around a little bit,
I wasn't allowed to participate.
Did they hit you in the head with the horseshoe once?
They tried.
Yeah, not on purpose, of course. No, they have horseshoes. They have rubber horseshoes now.
No, I believe part of it was on purpose. Anyway,
oh, poor guy, that poor fondue guy, huh?
Yeah, and like I said, his death was untimely. Maybe it wasn't. I don't know. Put the guy out of his misery.
Well, it's kind of apropos if he was to pass away by actually having a fondue, kind of like diving into the fondue, so to speak.
Yeah, I think he was setting a record for the largest chocolate fondue pot, and it was a slip and fall.
Oh, man.
He went, and I think he contacted the law office of Douglas Viviani to defend him.
Viviani did represent. He got a good number. He got a nice number.
Yeah, and the guy died, and Douglas Viviani walked away with over $3 million, I remember. Not a bad deal.
Not a bad. That's a family. That means the family got $6 million because it's a 2/3, 1/3 split. If you didn't know that,
he had no family. So
there's always an next of kin.
What are the bells?
I don't know. That's from your. Of course, you got that phone, that iPhone. It does nothing but ring, ring, ring. I don't know what's happening.
It's not my.
Let's take a little look at the fondue
iPhone.
guy.
Now iPhones were from like 20 years ago. What are you talking about?
That's where I'm from. Fondue time.
I think that food brings a lot of emotion. It's an emotional topic and has brought back, to me, unfortunately, some childhood memories that I hadn't expected would come up. But with that said, I think if I can read one more dessert recipe, it might make me feel better.
All right, then we'll get into discussing this apocalypse, the X-Men apocalypse. I want to see if you want to see that also. Do you want to talk about that first or after? I don't care. What do you feel better?
I don't want to talk about it at all, if that's okay. I'm trying not to re-trigger the memories, and let me just focus on the dessert, and then we can move.
This is why you're not into the barbecue. This is why you're not into the meats. This is all triggers the memories. A guy screaming like that guy Apocalypse. It's kind of upsetting to you.
Peach and raspberry parfait. So what you do is you take the peaches, you cut them into 2.5-inch pieces. You take 1.5 cups of raspberries.
I know you.
2 cups of sugar. You know, I know you find this funny, but it's making me feel better. So, what? I feel better already. 1 tablespoon of fresh lemon juice, a pint of vanilla ice cream, and then you
Why do you got to give me measurements for everything? Can't you just tell me the stuff with the measurements? No one's writing this down.
And then you just throw it against the wall and you storm out in a tantrum. Let's get...
How do you like that? That's what it's all about. How about a little
That
bit of
barrel test of yours, I want you to expand it there and give forth with that original blood-curdling jungle call, will you? You mean this?
It sounds like he fell off.
Someone's killing him.
It sounds like he fell off the tree and broke his leg or something.
That was horrible.
This is Johnny Weissmuller. That is a yell.
That's impressive. And
to this, I think this is pretty cool. We got Weissmuller and then Maureen O'Sullivan giving it her try. So Tarzan yelling and then Jane responding. This is the cell phone of the day.
Go ahead.
We're going to try our own hand at a Tarzan yell.
All right, here's mine. You ready?
Yo, Jane, over here!
I mean, that's what he's doing it for, right?
It is.
Okay.
It is. I'm going to try one more time,
All
right?
Yeah.
Yo, hey, ho, ho, hey, ho, ho. Oh, that's a good one. What
That
did we
was
just
pretty
say?
good.
Yeah.
How did that happen?
I think we just had the argument you love to have in Tarzan talk.
What do you think, brother? After listening to all that, you come on back, or what? What are you going to do?
Well, I don't even get to answer after all these years. Here we go. I never get a chance to answer any of the questions you asked.
So the answer is yes, huh, big buddy?
Sure, why not?
All right, we'll see you on NBC 2044. It's Christmas Eve. We're going to be playing with the Everything Old is New Again retrospective. They're going to love us. Anyway, thanks for listening. That was an old retrospective of 2016 from 30 years ago. It was a lot of fun.
It was. I'm back. We're back.
All right, we'll be back after this. Now, let me ask you a question. Did that work? Did you think it worked? Did you have fun doing that, Mr. Old school David Cohen? We're still on the air. We got ourselves another minute and a half.
But are we back to...
Oh, we could be back to...
we're back to our regular selves.
It wasn't a big stretch. Not much of a difference in the vocals.
Yeah, I think that was fun. That was fun. That was a good idea.
Thank you. So
I'm glad you thought of it.
Yes. Well, you were sick. You ran the marathon. What did you think of that? What was that about?
It was I ran the marathon again, and it was great again. What can I say? It was just terrific. I was much more serious about it, and I was trying to hit a certain time, and I missed the time I was trying to hit, but...
Did you beat the time from last year anyway?
Oh, by a lot.
Oh, that's good.
But I'm whatever. I'm a little neurotic about it, but it was great. It was a perfect day to run, and New York is just a great city to do it in, and I'm very happy. I'm very blessed that I was able to do it.
Excellent. All right. Well, this is what it's all about, and Everything Old is New Again. We'll be back next week to continue with a year in review 2016.